Hi, my name is Jenny Tellison, and I am presenting my supervisory model. My model consists of two main parts, the roadmap and the vehicle. And for the roadmap, I have used Henderson's ORs and categories of professional matrix, which is what I'm calling the roadmap. And then for the vehicle, I'm using cognitive behavior therapy. The roadmap is a tool that shows me as a supervisor the way to go. And the vehicle is the methods I will use along the way. So I'm using Henderson's ORs and categories of professional matrix as my map that's showing me the way to guide the supervisee to where I need to go, and then cognitive behavior therapy techniques and theory will be my vehicle. So, OR stands for observation, assess, respond, and steps. And there is so much overlap in these steps of CBT, and we'll talk about that intermittently throughout the presentation. Observation looks at the supervisee's behavior and looks at it in terms of motivation and competence. And as we move throughout, we want to know from the start that we're observing with motivation and competence in mind, because that's where we're in our assessment. Those are the questions we're going to be asking, and as we build a plan and a visual model for where and what level the supervisee is on, we want to have those terms already in mind. In the observation stage, CBT techniques that are important could be video conferencing and Socratic questioning. And Henderson talks about this more generally in saying that the supervisor can observe the supervisee's behavior directly, or ask the supervisee what he or she thinks about their own behavior and motivation and competence. So using Socratic questioning could be a very important and helpful tool to get there. And Socratic questioning is just a method of asking questions, open-ended questions, and with the intention of guiding the supervisee to a productive outcome. Assess is the step that looks at the behavior the supervisee observes and measures it against the standards that are determined and communicated at the start of the supervisory relationship. And so those standards must be developed and communicated to the supervisee. Respond is by way of the therapeutic alliance, which is the CBT concept. There needs to be a strong therapeutic relationship between supervisor and supervisee in order for the supervisee to be open to any feedback that is challenging. So this is very important to keep in mind the timing of challenges posed to the supervisee, and making sure that you have the foundation of a good relationship before trying to do that. If once this is in place, the supervisee is really primed and ready for the final step, which is to create an action plan and figure out what needs to be improved upon. Categories of professional matrix, which is the second part of the roadmap. This gives a visual for where a supervisee may fall during the assessment process. And you see in quadrant 1, star workers is the highest category because it's high in competence and commitment or motivation. And the quadrant 2 is high in competence, but not high in commitment. Quadrant 3 is low in both areas, and quadrant 4 is high in competence and low in commitment. So it's important that you look at these categories or quadrants as a continuum of both expectations, competence, and commitment or motivation. And even if the supervisor or supervisee is a star worker, it's on a continuum, so there's always room for improvement. And I personally believe that we never arrive and know everything, so we're always growing and learning. But ideally, we would be in quadrant 1 and be able to implement the the job at the end by the end of the supervision.